Welcome back, guys. This is Bharat here. In this video, it's a very important video for us because we're going to be talking about what is a Scrum and what is an Agile development planning and how is it going to be useful for us in the upcoming week. Let's go. Alright, to begin with, a Scrum is a development methodology. It's a framework where a team of developers or say there is a team of programmers who can sit around, apply these programming methodologies and still come out with a very successful product. In a very fast-paced development cycle that we have, say you have to develop an application in 8 weeks, you have to develop an application in 10 weeks. These are very short periods where you have to successfully come out with an application. So this Scrum development planning is going to be very helpful. What this Scrum does is that it's going to give you 5 important process tips that you have to follow. The first one is actually called as a sprint planning meeting, where you sit down, you decide what you're going to do for the next 7 days or next 14 days. Usually sprint is for 14 days and you just develop or you just come out with ideas of tasks which you're going to do for the next 14 days. So how is this going to be helpful for us? So you have a clear-cut idea of what you're going to do for the next 14 days and you go and apply those ideas and go do these tasks for the next 14 days. It's important that the developer takes the responsibility and breaks down what he's going to be doing, and he breaks down what is important for the application. He discusses with the team, he breaks everything down into minute tasks and he applies them in the next 14 days. So this way you develop applications that are really fast, you work with multiple teams, you work with the same team members, and that is how a sprint is going to be planned. The next is a Scrum or the stand-up, which you have every day. The daily planning is going to be like you want to discuss what you did and what you're going to do for the day and what is it the plan that's going to do you're going to do for the next day. So that's a very simple 3 to 4 minutes of discussion you have with your team, and that is going to be very helpful for planning out your task on that day. So this video is done for the one purpose alone. We're going to be discussing what you're going to do for the day on the start of the day, and we're going to continue with doing our application, or we're going to do with our 7-day app development series from there. So that is the primary purpose I took up this Scrum topic for today's video. The next is actually after you finish your sprint, you're going to complete a 14-day period. You're going to sit down and you're going to retrospect what you have done. We're going to be doing that as well, maybe not on an everyday basis. Maybe you're going to start with the sprint, which is going to be our first day of application development. And then you're going to go ahead and discuss what we have done successfully or not done successfully at the end of the 7 days. So that is going to give us a good value, or you're going to understand how the application should have gone and what you have missed and what you have successfully done. So it's a very good improvement curve. The next other two important are going to be a backlog, where you're going to create a backlog for say a month or 2-month period. These are things that you consider to be of less priority, so you just put them into this backlog and you can do them whenever you want to do them. And the final is going to be the sprint backlog, where you just decide what is less prioritized for that sprint, which is a 14-day period or 7-day period, and you push them to the end of the sprint maybe. So those things that you consider to be of less priority. So that is the entire idea about a sprint, and we're going to be using that in our application development or in our 7-day development plan. It's going to create a very good way of understanding what you have to do. It's going to create a very good way of understanding what you have done so far, and it's going to give you a clear-cut definition. It's going to be really helpful on that day for us, because we're going to be doing a 7-day continuous of development. So it's going to be really helpful. Okay, that's it for the video. I hope this video is informative. I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand what a Scrum is, because I'm going to be starting with a Scrum for every single day. And the end of the day, we're going to be discussing how I've developed the application stage by stage. Alright, let me meet you there. It's just around the corner. I'm just planning and scheduling these things out, and hopefully I'm just coming out in a very short span of time, and you guys can also benefit from these videos. And let me meet you there. Until then, it's Bharat. Peace out.